What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast. We're talking about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? So definitely continue to tune in throughout the week. So again, Monday, Tuesday are topics, Wednesday, discussion, Thursdays, Ask the CISSP. I have one with Lynn Dom from WESIS coming up, so look for that one probably the first week of December. And then Fridays, everything else, so movies, books, games, all that cool stuff. So hit us up by all the websites that go by our name. And without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. So this article comes from InfoSecurityMagazine.com, written by Beth Mondrill. And the title of this one was Ransomware Games on Recruitment Drive for Pen Testers, right? So just like with everything else, just like with anybody else that's developing something, you need to make sure, you know, your ransomware is airtight, right? Or as tight as it can be, right? So what ends up happening here is that they talk about RAMP, right? Which is really RAMP 2.0, I want to say, because RAMP was shut down. The original iteration of it was shut down some years ago, probably like 4 or 5 years ago or something like that, right? It was like 2019, I want to say, something along those lines. But RAMP, which is the Russian Anonymous Marketplace, it doesn't say 2.0 on here, but I'm pretty sure it's 2.0. What they have is what they've seen is that multiple Russian language job listings have been showing up on there, right? RAMP is what it used to be this place where inside of Russia you could get like drugs. It was like a drug delivery type service. So that was the main purpose of it, right? Again, with the first iteration, but now they're like, all right, we're putting job postings out here for people that are pen testers, right? So when we do this ransomware as a service, we need to make sure our ransomware is pretty tight, right? The code is good. There's nothing in there. It's not going to work as advertised. Remember, with ransomware as a service, they're charging people for these services, right? Like they're putting stuff out there that will like pay us these tens of thousands of dollars, right? And then we'll give you these things that'll make it easier for you to go out there and benefit from these crimes that are out here doing, right? That the government's still looking for you now. I just want y'all to know, like, be on notice, right? Like, be on notice. They're coming after y'all, right? Multinational joint task force and all that stuff, right? But yeah, there's a whole economy behind this, right? Like there's a whole, I'm going to say like legitimize it. They're trying to legitimize what they do when it comes to these ransomware things, right? Like they treat it like when we did the story about them having their own court, like when they brought each other to court for, non-payment and stuff like that. Like they're very legitimate in what they're doing for their ill-begotten gain that they're trying to acquire, right? But yeah, so ransomware gangs, I don't want to say they're people too, but they're people too. So they're up there. They're out there. Ransomware as a service is one of those things where they are making a lot of money doing it, right? Crime is paying, right? And they actually mentioned in here, there's locker source code being sold for $45,000, right? So when I say the tens of thousands of dollars that they're charging people, again, you got to make sure it's tight, right? It's kind of weird to me because when you have these pen testers that are out there, my assumption, because RAMP is not something like, it's not like it's a legitimate website to go to. You got to search out RAMP. It's one of those dark web type things, right? So what I'm seeing here, the way I'm reading into this is that you have people that are supposed to be, honest workers that are probably going out here that are pen testers that are saying, okay, I need to make a little extra money, right? So what am I going to do? All right, I'm going to go ahead and work for these ransomware, right? So this could be one of those things where the second and third order effects of this are, if they find out you're a pen tester for one of these ransomware things, like, are you going to get charged as well when they start bringing down these ransomware gangs? Like, are you inadvertently going to be included in all of this, right? Like, even if I'm the getaway driver, to a murder, like, even though I didn't commit it, like, they're going to put me on trial too, right? Like, I'm acceptable after the fact, right? And that could be what happens here with this, right? So, again, these Russians, man, like, they out here making it happen, right? And one of the things they're talking about, right? Shadow AI. AI has come up again, right? We talk about AI all the time, and here we are again talking about AI and how it's making it easier to accomplish these different tasks, right? So yeah, this is one of those things where folks, I get it, right? Like everybody has another hustle, right? Everybody has a side hustle or whatever it may be. I have my legitimate job and I do this on the side, gives me a little bit extra. Stuff like this though, like don't be out there helping me. You're gonna get caught, right? They're not your friends. They only care about what you can do for them. You're a number two, right? So just be on the lookout, folks. Like if you have to, first off, if you're going to RAMP, you already know you're doing it, right? You already done wrong there anyway. So when they shut this version of Ramp down, right? Like when this one happens to you for this Ramp 2.0, just know you're going to get caught up. All right. But Ryan, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, they're always so clever. Like I hate to give them their flowers, but they do a really good job of retrofitting or bending real practice into nefarious things. It's like, okay, well, now we have a marketplace where we are able to source and hire legitimate pen testers to then do our bidding or do whatever it is. And this is probably one of those situations where your part-time gig probably pays more than your full-time gig. So there's this temptation to do this full-time and you're going to jail. So don't do that, right? But I think even more importantly, it's, I don't know, there's a really weird duality here where it's, if you hired these people to do legitimate jobs and you made them full-time and gave them benefits and all the other stuff, they would do it for legitimate reasons. They would be legal in this regard. That they're seeking out this nefarious activity, this side hustle, is because either, in my opinion, would be that they're not getting paid enough, they're not able to find enough employment. Because why risk your bread and butter? Because if you get caught, you will be banned from doing this type of activity legitimately ever again, right? Like a lot of these certifications and bodies that hire you have a code of ethics where you can't be playing both sides. You can't be a bad guy and work for them. Probably ever, right? Like most people have a ethics clause within their HR policies. So you're dabbling. So maybe it is that you are being greedy, but I think for the most part, for this marketplace to thrive, it has to be people who are seeking employment because they don't have enough legitimate opportunity. Would be my personal opinion. Because why would you play with the fire? Like some people will play with the fire, but most people can live through others vicariously and say, nope, that's hot. I'm not going to go touch that.
Well, maybe these pyros just want the excitement, right? Like, so maybe they're sick of doing their day to day, right? They're like, oh, yes, okay, I'm doing this for my company or whatever. And you could be onto something where it is paying more, right? Like, I get it. Like, it's one of those things where,
yeah.
like,
It's probably 3, 4, or 10x compared to what they're doing the same job and getting paid much more to do it.
I don't know, man. And the ethics thing, the code of ethics things you bring up is pretty good too, right? Because like, yes, that is 100% true. Like when you get these certifications, like it's one of those code of ethics things that you probably just read through like it's a EULA, right? You're like, okay, yeah, I won't do any of that. You don't know what you're gonna do, right? Until you get read, right? So like you're out here inadvertently doing it, but you sign saying, yeah, I accept, right? Because now I have the certification that I can put on my resume and go out there and do all these different things. Yeah, man, this is a slippery slope. But again, if you were on here looking at this job posting, you already started off wrong. You went to a site
yeah,
it is not. I'm not saying not legitimate.
Yeah, they're not tricking you into a fake job advertisement in this way, right? You don't think you're working for legitimate company.
Yeah, your eyes are wide open. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to quickly go over the shadow AI topic of the article, right? It makes you put on my consultant. If you do not have an AI acceptable use policy or some kind of something to warn your employees that, hey, we need to vet whatever you're using to do work, right? Whether it be you're trying to put this thing in production or you're feeding it, our IP or other people's PII, PHI, things of that nature. Like you have to have something that's going to protect your company from people inadvertently spilling data into these LLMs. There it is. You have to have something. It's something as simple as a one pager to protect yourself and to, like you said, eyes wide open, right? Like you need to let your employees know that it's not acceptable to be using something that's not vetted. Because in this case, you saw that body cam, Right, Sonic, Poe, PeakU, and a bunch of others where they have security holes in them because they're of the use of AI applications. So there's a ton of them, but there's only a handful that have been vetted and are constantly being patched and looked over by billion-dollar, trillion-dollar companies, so on and so forth. So if you are not protecting yourself, you're at risk, right? Either you accept the risk, you mitigate the risk, or you transfer the risk. You are accepting risks by not having the AI accept the policy, and then enforcing it on your employees, in my opinion. So,
And it becomes a data privacy, right? Because we talk about all the time, right? We just talked about it with Meta crackdown, right? Like your data that you have to possibly give up to further vet, these accounts you're going to be doing are legitimate. Data privacy is a big thing with this, to where it's like with all these holes in here, they're going to get access to things that you didn't want them to have access to, right? Like that was not your intention when you started using all these lesser known, I should say, LLMs, but that's what you're getting yourself to.
No, absolutely. So yeah, if you need help with that, I know a guy, Ryan Williams, over at Ram Cyber. Hit me up, LinkedIn. I help you write the policy. Definitely continue to tune in throughout the week. Again, Monday, Tuesday are topics. Wednesday discussion. Thursdays Ask a CISSP. I have one coming up, and then Fridays everything else: movies, tweaks, games, all that good stuff. Hit us up by all the websites to go by our name: the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or Ask a CISSP. And then you can also go to ramcyber.io. There's nothing there yet, but you can reach me personally at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. You can find me on pretty much all the platforms, but LinkedIn is my most active. Stay safe. Stay secure.